Welcome back to Right at the Wire. Today, by request, we are going to look at the cross-country Pick 5 to be run on Saturday, and it will comprise races from three different tracks: Kingman, Oakland, and Aqueduct. So let's take a look at the first leg. The first leg of the cross-country Pick 5 is the Oakland Stakes. It's to be run at 1.5 miles for 4-year-olds and up at Kingman, and it's the 8th race. We are going to use number 2, Value Engineering. He's in really good form. Has had a second and a first, both at the distance, and I think he's a logical fit. Likes to run up near the pace, and I think that's important, particularly in these 3-turn events. Number 3 is Rising Empire. We're also going to use. I think he ran a really nice race in his last, and I think he's a threat to get on the lead and potentially wire it. I think that's a good place to be. A lot of these races, particularly in 1.5 miles, it's one on the front end, so I think we want to use him. Number 5 is Red Knight, very logical. This is his wheelhouse distance, multiple wins at it, and he's in pretty decent form and coming off of freshening. Number 9 is a bit of a wild card, Verstappen. He is less prominent than some of the others, but recently at Turfway, his form has been very good. His class levels are rising as the race levels are rising, and that's always what you want to see. He's a 4-year-old, so there's definitely room for improvement. I think he's on the upswing, and you should be getting a price. Turf isn't going to be a problem. He's run on it before, so I think to get a little value on our ticket, let's put him on there. Leg 2 of the cross-country Pick 5 is the New York Stallion Series Stakes. It's the 8th race at Aqueduct, and it's 6.5 furlongs for 3-year-olds. We are going to spread a little bit. Number 2 we're going to use is Kernness. He is route to sprint, and he's been winning on the front end. I think he might have the stamina to stay in this one. Number 3 is Lifetime of Chance. He ran just a ridiculously good race last time, but it was so much better than anything he had run before. And Linda Rice had been winning 10 out of 11 at that point, and it kind of raised your eyebrow a little bit. I'll let you come to your own conclusions, but if he runs back to that, this is an easy victory. Mark Cassie's got him now, and so we're going to use him reluctantly, but he's on the ticket. Number 4 is General Banker. We're going to use. He's finally back to sprints where he belongs. I think he's illogical in this spot. He definitely matches up, and he's going to be running off the pace. There should be plenty of it, so he'll have something to run to. Number 7 is 10 Cent Town. He'll be on the engine, but, his first start of the year, I really liked what he did. He showed a lot of grit. It was a pretty deep race, and he had to fight off a couple to get the win. So he's coming into this one in good form, and hopefully you'll get a price. The third leg of the cross-country Pick 5 is the Ben Ali Stakes, and it's the 9th race at Kingman. It's run at 1 3/16 miles. It's a grade 3 for 4-year-olds and up. We are going to single here with number 4, Skippy Longstocking. I think that makes sense. He's undefeated at the grade 3 level. His last race in the Challenger at Tampa was solid, and I don't see anything in this race that competes with him. Particularly when you consider Rattle and Roll is coming off Lasix, and as we know, that's a terrible angle for Kenny McPeak. And I don't really see, I think most of the ones in here are a cut below. Pioneer of Medina, I think is, I'm not ready to trust him again because he was coming off 2 hard efforts, and he really kind of threw in the towel in the race prior. And I'm not sure that he's up to snuff here. So we're going to single. I think it's a good, solid one, and it allows us to spread in the other legs. The 4th leg of the cross-country Pick 5 is the Oakland Handicap. It's the 10th race at Oakland. It's at 1.8 miles for 4-year-olds and up. And this one, we're going to keep it small. Charge It really ought to be a single, to be honest. But since Last Samurai is a horse for the course at Oakland, it has just been in fantastic form during the meet. We're going to keep him too. So number 2, Last Samurai, and number 7, Charge It. I don't. Most of the other runners in this race are going to be coming from way off the pace, and I think that's going to allow Charger to pretty much control things on the front end. Should be able to get by Classic Causeway without much issue. Stiletto Boy in particular, I think he's had 3 pretty tough races in a row, and I'm kind of expecting, as is his form, you look at his past form, that after a couple of tough races in a row, that he tends to not fire. So I'm sort of banking on that, and I think Charger's better than he is in any event, and will be running basically in the same place. So 2 and 7 in the 4th leg. The final leg of the cross-country pick 5 is the Bathhouse Row Stakes. It's at a 1 1/8 for 3-year-olds only at Oakland, and it's the 11th race. We are going to try to get some value into this ticket in this one. We're gonna kind of stay away from the obvious choices, and I'll explain why in a second. Number 1, we're going to take Interlock Empire. This one is going back on Lasix and had a really impressive maiden win at Oakland. And in the Arkansas Derby, didn't do too well, but wasn't on Lasix. And as we know, Kenny McPeak is not very good when they take him off. So being back on it, I think, is going to give this one a really good shot to run a good race. And I think we'll be up closer to the pace than Red Route 1, and is on the upswing a little bit. So I kind of like this one. And you're going to get a price too. Number 6 is Victory Formation. Yes, we haven't seen him since the Risen Star. Yes, it was a disappointing effort, but he gets a much more favorable post. He gets Lasix, and he clearly has some talent. And so I think he'll be up near the pace. He'll be able to get a jump on Red Route 1 and some of the others. And I think he's a logical win candidate here. Number 9 is Tappet Shoes. He looks like he is moving forward. He is on the right track. The distance isn't going to be a problem, and his Brad Cox is about as hot as they get. And, Kent DeSormo is one of those jockeys that you always have to watch out for, particularly when he's got a horse that's lying in the weeds. And this one could be one of those, given some of the more prominent members. I am excluding Two Eagles River because I think he proved in the Arkansas Derby he's a little light class-wise, and this is a pretty classy field. I'm also excluding Red Route 1 because his running style just means second and not first. He's just way too far back and has too much to do. I thought the Arkansas Derby, they were going to change back to a closer, more rating style, and they didn't. So I'm assuming that's what he's going to do again. He does have his rabbit in this race, powerful, but I don't. It didn't matter in the last time they were together, and I don't think it's going to matter here. So here's a look at our total ticket. In leg 1, we are going to use 2, 3, 5, and 9. I think that's a pretty contentious race, so we definitely need options. Leg 2, we're going to use 2, 3, 4, 7. That New York States race is a fairly wide open affair as well. We've got to hope that the 3 doesn't run back to what he did before. Leg 3 is Skippy Longstocking. We're going to single. I think he towers over the field. Number 4, we're going to use Last Samurai as sort of defensively against Charge It in case the pace gets a little hot. And then leg 5, we're going to use 1, 6, 9. I think that gives us all 3 different running styles. And we're going to try to create some value. I think a lot of money is going to go on to Red Route 1, who at this point I think is a wise guy horse. So the total wager on a 50-cent base is $48. And, of course, if you use Ticketmaker, you can get that down to lower. But I think the main thing to point out is this has the potential to be a fairly chalky ticket. So we want to keep our ticket size fairly economical, I think. So that's the cross-country pick 5. I summarized the races this time, given the field sizes were smaller, and that was requested by the person who asked for this posting. So I hope this meets with what you were expecting. And I hope my insight and analysis helps you in formulating your own ticket. I think it's going to be a little chalky, so I would recommend keeping your ticket size small. I've tried to build in some value there where I think it's pertinent, and hopefully if we can take this one down, it'll be a pretty nice score, even with some major league underlays in there. But we will continue with our Keeneland card series as we have throughout the meet. And we will also have a revised top 20 Derby list. I've already started my deep dive into the field, and so there may be some alterations to it based upon what I see. We will also have our 4 elements of handicapping the Kentucky Derby. We'll be having those probably at the end of next week, I'm thinking. And I think you're going to get a lot out of that, and I think you'll enjoy it. Some of it might be old hat for some of you vets, but the newer people, I think you're really going to pick up some stuff that you'll find useful. Of course, if you like what you see here, please like and subscribe. And we thank you so much for coming by. And please keep the comments coming. I really enjoy hearing from you guys, as I've told you. And it does sort of bolster me up because this can be kind of arduous at times to do all these postings. So thanks again. I'll talk to you soon. And until then, best of luck and be well.